Good morning, crypto fam, BGT community. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. Another chapter of motivational mindset on my drive and hopefully on your drive to work too. Or if you're just around the house and you got 5 to 8 minutes, I want to get your mind in the right place, give you some food for thought to think about as you go out through your day. Please like and subscribe, share this out. We'd appreciate that, of course. But today, the topic of our conversation is going to be about drive on a curvy road. We know that a straight line, the closest distance between 2 points, is a straight line. And a lot of training and a lot of coaching goes into taking the path of least resistance, taking the path that gets you there the quickest. Try to curtail all the minutia, red tape, the traffic. But I'm going to go and push back on that, and I'm going to say that wisdom and character is built by driving on the curvy roads. So in your driving skills, if you really want to become a great driver, the more difficult the course is, the road is, the better you hone your skills. And as you walk through life, as you move through life, the more bends and turns and curves that you've had to take, the more obstacles that you've had to overcome, the more wisdom you gain. Is it always the quickest? No. Is it always the fastest? No. But typically, it is where you learn the most. Now, when you hone that skill and you sharpen your knife and you become efficient and competent, certainly in the name of time management, you want to get there as fast as you can in life. Of course, I'm not suggesting anything to the contrary, but I'm suggesting that as you're moving through life, sometimes you need to take the back way, the longer way, the curvier way, because there's a lot of golden nuggets and a lot of wisdom on that path. And sometimes you're forced to take that in life, and sometimes it's your only option. Sometimes you should choose to take that path. You should choose to slow down and take the curvy road. The curvy road will unveil things to you that you've never seen before. It'll show you mountains, it'll show you lakes, it'll show you rivers. It'll show you beauty that you haven't seen before because you just are so fixated on taking the straight line path. So I'd encourage you to once in a while go through the tough, curvy road. That's why they have boot camp in the military. They're not going to bring you into the military without giving you the fundamental basics of being a soldier. The fundamental basics of being a soldier is a curvy road, is a tough road, is a hard road. But what do you learn by driving and going through that? You learn a lot. You learn things that you never were exposed to before, just like that lake or that river or that bridge or that covered bridge. But I would have never seen that bridge if I didn't take the curvy road today. I want to stop, take in the moment, and reflect. So I would encourage all of you, take the curvy road once in a while. Take the tougher path once in a while. We know this from people going into the military, for instance, very tough, curvy road. We know this from people going to college. I went to college. I graduated. I have a finance degree. It was a curvy, tough road. Most things in life where you expand and broaden your horizons and your knowledge the most are tough. They're not easy. So have a perception that you need to take the curvy road once in a while, because that's where the most growth is going to occur. Take action, do it. Just wanted to give you that to chew on today. But I wanted to leave you with that today. Take the curvy road. It's where the most growth is going to occur. Don't always take the fastest, straightest line. There is a time for that, of course, but there's also time to take the curvy road and grow and expand your horizon. God bless. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, givers gain. Hey guys, welcome to Billy Goat Tales. This is Crypto Billy, and this is your motivational segment for your drive to work or wherever you may be. It will only be 5 minutes, maybe 8 minutes at the most. What I try to do is give you something to think about so that you can sharpen your saw. And we're going to talk about sharpening your saw, or sometimes you hear me say sharpen your knife. It's the same concept. What does sharpening your knife mean? Well, we've talked in the past about being proactive. Of course, it means that you are always prepared. What is the Boy Scout model? Be prepared. I get asked a lot of times, Billy, you can go on these tangents about things. Where are you drawing all that wisdom from? You can speak intelligently on a given topic, and I've noticed that there's not a lot of edits in your videos, and you just speak your mind, and you're pulling that information from somewhere. And I look at them and I say, yeah, I'm almost 60. I've had a lot of life underneath my belt, and so I'm pulling it from there. I can tell it does not satisfy their curiosity, because the real answer is I've spent a lifetime sharpening my knife. What do I mean by that? Well, if you want to be better, if you want to be successful, if you want to be happily married, if you want to be a great dad, if you want to be rich, if you want to open up a business, you have to be prepared, the Boy Scout model. And to be prepared means you have to sharpen your knife. And that means you have to read books, you have to learn, you have to grow, you have to seek to understand, then be understood. You have to be proactive. You have to have humility. You have to practice. And so all these books over the years and a lifetime of learning, I have studied, and I have buried them in my brain, and I have buried them in my head, and I have tried to build good habits. And all of this collectively is sharpening your knife. You sharpen your knife so when you're ready to cut that meat, it cuts cleanly. Or when you're ready to cut that tomato, it cuts cleanly. There's nothing worse than pulling out a knife and you have a tomato there and you go to cut it and it smushes down and it just pisses you off, right? Because you did not sharpen your knife. You did not change your shoelaces. You have to be prepared. You have to sharpen your knife every single day. You have to sharpen your knife. Every day, you have to sharpen your knife. If you want to get things in life, you have to be prepared. You have to practice. You have to build good habits. You have to be proactive. You have to do these things that we teach in Billy Goat Tales. You can't just learn it on this video, hear it, and say, you know what? He's right about that. He's right about that. I need to do something about it. And then you do nothing. The day gets in the way, your life gets in the way, and you end up just doing nothing with it. So take this, sharpen your knife, and practice it. Practice it on as many things as you can. For instance, if you want to be a great speaker, then go join Toastmasters, or go read a book on it, or listen to a podcast on it from somebody that does it every day. Sharpen your knife. If you want to be a pilot, then join the Air Force. If you need to join the Air Force, you got to figure out what it takes to be a pilot. Sharpen your knife, learn, grow. Talk to people that are already pilots, right? Sharpen your knife in all that you do. Spend your time in the morning or in the evening or on your drive to work sharpening your knife. Hope that helped you. I just want to make sure I pass on these things to our community. I am always here for you. I'm always here to help you. I will do whatever I can, and so will all the team members of Billy Goat Tales, to help you sharpen your knife. Have a blessed day. And remember, givers gain. Good morning, BGT community. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you and I love you. Today's motivational topic on your drive into work, and it's only going to be 5 minutes, 8 minutes at the longest, is about changing your shoelaces. What does that mean, Billy? You're being a little crazy there. Change your shoelaces. Changing your shoelaces is about being proactive. And being proactive is the first step, the impetus to building good habits. And I will tie all this together quickly. You have to be proactive in life. You cannot be reactive. Being proactive allows you to get things done before somebody tells you they need to be done. Most people have either employer mentality or employee mentality. You want to have employer mentality. What does that mean? That means you don't need a boss. That means you're self-motivated. That means you can see obstacles ahead of time and you take care of them. You don't need to wait for a problem to happen. You're sharpening the saw all the time. You're seeking and visualizing the future, which includes obstacles a lot of times that you work to overcome before they become an obstacle. When I was young, in my 20s, I was on a construction, a framing crew. It's brand new, first day. And what happened? There's a guy on the roof, a couple guys on the roof. They were installing the trusses, actually a stick frame roof. It wasn't trusses, it was a stick frame roof. There's a guy on the ground with sawhorses in the lumber stack. The guy on the roof was yelling down, telling him what dimension to cut at, what length to cut at. I was standing there. The guy was grab lumber off the pile, grab it, put it on the sawhorses, and cut it. I was standing there thinking, man, what do I do? It's my first day. After about 3 or 4 times of the guy on the roof yelling down to the guy on the ground with the sawhorses, the guy on the ground looks at me and says, "You're just going to stand there." And I looked at him and I said, "Well, what do you want me to do?" And he looked at me with extreme disgust. And he said, "Can't you see what this program is all about? Can't you see the system that we are utilizing here? What you could do is when he yells down the dimension is grab a piece of lumber and throw it up on a sawhorse for me. And what you could do is take your tape and measure it out and mark it for me instead of me having to do it all." And in that moment, it happened. That's when I learned about being proactive. You don't have to wait to help. You don't have to wait to jump in and help.
Stay in the right 2 lanes.
It's my GPS. Sorry about that. You have to be proactive. Change your shoelaces on your birthday every year so that you're not in an airport taking your shoes off for TSA. You put them back on and the shoestring breaks. If you proactively change your shoelaces, you won't ever have that problem. You can extrapolate this lesson throughout your whole life. And what happens when you are proactive? What happens is it helps you build good habits. And building good habits is a secret key to success. If you don't want to be sick all the time and you build a habit of taking vitamin C every day, the probability that you're going to get sick has been lessened. It doesn't take it away. And I take vitamin C every day and have for 20 or 30 years, but I still get sick. But how many times did I not get sick that I'll never know about because I take vitamin C? You can extrapolate this into the workplace. You can extrapolate it into your private life. So change your shoelaces. Let that be your trigger for building good habits, being proactive, visualizing yourself ahead of time so that you can win in life. Hope this helps. Love you guys. Have a great day. Good morning, BGT community. Thanks for joining me on this motivational drive to work. It'll only be 5-8 minutes at the most. I try to keep them short because I know everyone's busy. The intent here is to inspire you and make you think about things that you otherwise would not think about to help you improve your life. That's why we exist. That's what we do. Givers gain. So today I want to talk about being vulnerable. I am basically a boomer. I grew up in a boomer household. I have 5 other siblings. They're all boomers. I am actually technically a Gen X, but I grew up in a boomer household, and I'm only a Gen X by less than a year and a half, a year and 4 months. So I have boomer conditioning. And there's a lot about boomer conditioning that is very good and has helped me in life. But there's some things that were just wrong. We have to distinguish between those. That's called mental conditioning. We were conditioned to think a certain way and believe a certain way. And some of these things are etiquette, and which are really good, such as standing for the national anthem, putting your hand on your heart, being respectful to your elders, being respectful to your teachers, raising your hand if you have a question, just etiquette things in life that really we need to go back to, in my opinion. But there's other things on boomer conditioning that were just bad. And you have to distinguish which elements that you need to hold on to and which elements that you need to let go of. And one of them is vulnerability. I was taught that men don't cry. I was taught that you suck it up and you drive on. Now, the mental side of that, to be persistent and to, when you get knocked down and get back up and drive on, that all still remains. That's not the side I'm talking about. The side I'm talking about is the emotional side. The emotional side is allowing yourself to be vulnerable. One of the people that taught me this in my life, just in recent years, even though I knew the principle and learned it 30 years ago, because of my conditioning, it was hard to take words out of a book and apply them to my life and practice them. It was hard to build the habit of doing it. I struggle with it today. I am teaching it because I believe in it. I am teaching it because I know it's the truth and the path and the light, but I still struggle with it today. It is still scary for me today. I'm still fearful of this today, and it's still difficult for me to do this today because of 58 years of conditioning. But being vulnerable is something that you can tune into Crypto Lifer's YouTube stream a crypto trader, has become a friend of mine. The man is moved so often. He's moved with pain and he's moved with pleasure, and he shows it live. He gets so overwhelmed of the gratitude that is given to him, he begins breaking down and crying on his stream with gratitude and appreciation and love. He is demonstrating vulnerability. He is demonstrating the fact that we are all humans and we all have this emotional element to us. And without even thinking about it, whatever comes to him emotionally, he lets it out. Now, when I say that, of course he's professional. Of course I'm not talking about he's so emotional that he lets everything out. No, I'm talking about he shows love and he shows fear and sadness and he shows gratitude. And I admire that so much because I still struggle with that. Again, it's boomer conditioning. Now, in my family, I have no problem. It's easier around the people you know and love to be so happy you cry or to be so sad you cry. But guys, we have to let it out. We have to show that we're humans, that we're just like each other, that one isn't better than the other, that the size of my wallet does not dictate whether I'm right or wrong, or my character, or my success, or my happiness. So, show some vulnerability. Be yourself. Be authentic. Let people know who you are. And you will see, by doing this, you will be able to capture your dreams. Be vulnerable. Givers gain. Love you. Have a great day. Hope this helps you on your drive to work. Or if you're watching it later, hope this has helped you in some way. Be vulnerable. Good morning, community. Billy Goat-Tails community. Good morning. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I want to talk this morning about community, how important it is. I want to say that unlike so many other people that talk about community because it's vogue, because it's the in thing, your actions speak louder than your words in life. Community is getting to know your community. And yes, as it grows, it's harder and harder. The little things that you can do to prove through your actions that you care, that it's not about money, that it's not about clicks, that it's not about likes, but it's about the people behind those clicks, is talk to them, build relationships with them, get out there in the community and form these relationships, get to know them, care enough to say hi to them. I always find it interesting being in this community, crypto community, for a long time. When I go on a creator's website, and I know they know me, we've met, and you say hello, or they come into another creator's chat and you say hello to them a couple times and they don't answer you. That tells a story. It tells a story. Now, being on the other side of the camera, you can't keep up with chat. You're not going to see everything. That's why it's good for you to not get mad and get upset, but to keep trying. Saying hello in the morning, saying hello in chat to everyone that you form relationships with and everyone that you want to form a relationship with is very important. It shows that you're willing to connect. It shows that you're willing to put yourself out there. It shows that you want to build a relationship. It shows that you don't think you're better than somebody else because you have 1 million followers or 50,000 followers or 100,000 followers. It shows that you view yourself on an equal footing to everyone else. It's proof. And I am just amazed at how many creators still have not figured this out. So those are actions, not words. It's important for you and your community creators to engage with chat. It's important for you to build relationships with people, and it's important for you to follow through on what you say. And you as well in the community. These are life lessons. These are things that will help you grow, help you achieve your success. But as I talk about community, there is one thing that I want to pass on to you that is secret sauce. People ask how you become successful, and they define success as making millions and being financially free. The folks that are financially free, that doesn't mean they're happy. So if you break it down, you can say, I am happy or I'm not happy. I'm content or I'm not content. You can say I'm rich or I'm not rich. We can determine these things. Are you happy or are you not happy? Are you wealthy or are you not wealthy? To me, and you could throw success in there. Are you successful or are you not successful? So to me, the question is, what do you want? Do you want happiness? Do you want success? Do you want wealth? Do you want all three? What do you want the most? And once you determine that, because I will tell you, wealth does not mean you're going to be happy. And wealth does not mean you're going to be successful. I can tell you, I was a millionaire in my 30s, mid 30s, and I didn't know what to do with that wealth. I can tell you that the best lesson that came to me was when I lost millions in the 2008 financial collapse. Okay, so that was a gift. That was a gift from God in my book. And even though I was walking through the bowels of hell at the time, I can tell you I saw and visualized this gift as a gift. I saw and visualized this gift as a gift. That is a true fact. If anybody tries to suggest that you don't have the power as you're walking through the bowels of hell to have faith that this is happening to you for a reason, I'm here to tell them they're wrong. I was walking through that time frame and I knew that this was happening to me for a reason, and I knew I had to learn from it, and I knew there was something better on the other side. I visualized myself and I felt the emotions of myself already as if it had happened. I knew that I would come back bigger and stronger, and I visualized it and I felt the emotions of it already. I could see it, I could feel it, and that carried me through the moment. These are secret, ancient teachings that we as humans just don't tap into. We just don't tap into these things. We think they're hogwash. We think you can't touch it and feel it. It's kind of like the people we try to ramp up into Bitcoin. We've been so conditioned, they have been so conditioned, that you got to touch this money. I can pull this money out of my pocket and it's in my hand. Therefore, Bitcoin's not. It's abstract. I don't understand. And they get confused and they don't believe and they don't have faith in it. And as we know, faith is the substance of that hoped for and the evidence of that not found. And even though there is no evidence at that moment when you're walking through the bowels of hell, you have faith because because you can see it, you can visualize it. And I would say to you, if you want to become successful, if you want to become rich or wealthy, if you want to become happy, whatever you want, the first step is for you to visualize it. And the first step is for you to add the emotion to it. Visualization is great, but you have to already feel it. You have to already be there. You have to already see yourself there. You have to already carry yourself in that manner because you believe. I'm passing this secret sauce on to you so that you can become who you want to become. And that's what we do at Billy Goat Tales. We preach, we guide, we help. Love you. Have a great day. Hope this video touched your lives in a positive way. Crypto Billy out. It's harder and harder. The little things that you can do to prove. Good morning, community. Billy Goat Tales community. Good morning. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I want to talk this morning about community, how important it is. I want to say that unlike so many other people that talk about community because it's vogue, because it's the in thing, your actions speak louder than your words in life. Community is getting to know your community. And yes, as it grows, it's harder and harder. The little things that you can do to prove through your actions that you care, that it's not about money, that it's not about clicks, that it's not about likes, but it's about the people behind those clicks, is talk to them, build relationships with them, get out there in the community and form these relationships, get to know them, care enough to say hi to them. I always find it interesting being in this community, crypto community, for a long time. When I go on a creator's website, and I know they know me, we've met, and you say hello, or they come into another creator's chat and you say hello to them a couple times and they don't answer you. That tells a story. It tells a story. Now, being on the other side of the camera, you can't keep up with chat. You're not going to see everything. That's why it's good for you to not get mad and get upset, but to keep trying. Saying hello in the morning, saying hello in chat to everyone that you form relationships with and everyone that you want to form a relationship with is very important. It shows that you're willing to connect. It shows that you're willing to put yourself out there. It shows that you want to build a relationship. It shows that you don't think you're better than somebody else because you have 1 million followers or 50,000 followers or 100,000 followers. It shows that you view yourself on an equal footing to everyone else. It's proof. And I am just amazed at how many creators still have not figured this out. So those are actions, not words. It's important for you and your community creators to engage with chat. It's important for you to build relationships with people, and it's important for you to follow through on what you say. And you as well in the community. These are life lessons. These are things that will help you grow, help you achieve your success. But as I talk about community, there is one thing that I want to pass on to you that is secret sauce. People ask how you become successful, and they define success as making millions and being financially free. The folks that are financially free, that doesn't mean they're happy. So if you break it down, you can say, I am happy or I'm not happy. I'm content or I'm not content. You can say I'm rich or I'm not rich. We can determine these things. Are you happy or are you not happy? Are you wealthy or are you not wealthy? To me, and you could throw success in there. Are you successful or are you not successful? So to me, the question is, what do you want? Do you want happiness? Do you want success? Do you want wealth? Do you want all three? What do you want the most? And once you determine that, because I will tell you, wealth does not mean you're going to be happy. And wealth does not mean you're going to be successful. I can tell you, I was a millionaire in my 30s, mid 30s, and I didn't know what to do with that wealth. I can tell you that the best lesson that came to me was when I lost millions in the 2008 financial collapse. Okay, so that was a gift. That was a gift from God in my book. And even though I was walking through the bowels of hell at the time, I can tell you I saw and visualized this gift as a gift. I saw and visualized this gift as a gift. That is a true fact. If anybody tries to suggest that you don't have the power as you're walking through the bowels of hell to have faith that this is happening to you for a reason, I'm here to tell them they're wrong. I was walking through that time frame and I knew that this was happening to me for a reason, and I knew I had to learn from it, and I knew there was something better on the other side. I visualized myself and I felt the emotions of myself already as if it had happened. I knew that I would come back bigger and stronger, and I visualized it and I felt the emotions of it already. I could see it, I could feel it, and that carried me through the moment. These are secret, ancient teachings that we as humans just don't tap into. We just don't tap into these things. We think they're hogwash. We think you can't touch it and feel it. It's kind of like the people we try to ramp up into Bitcoin. We've been so conditioned, they have been so conditioned, that you got to touch this money. I can pull this money out of my pocket and it's in my hand. Therefore, Bitcoin's not. It's abstract. I don't understand. And they get confused and they don't believe and they don't have faith in it. And as we know, faith is the substance of that hoped for and the evidence of that not found. And even though there is no evidence at that moment when you're walking through the bowels of hell, you have faith because you know, because you can see it, you can visualize it. And I would say to you, if you want to become successful, if you want to become rich or wealthy, if you want to become happy, Whatever you want, the first step is for you to visualize it, and the first step is for you to add the emotion to it. Visualization is great, but you have to already feel it. You have to already be there. You have to already see yourself there. You have to already carry yourself in that manner because you believe. I'm passing this secret sauce on to you so that you can become who you want to become. And that's what we do at Billy Goat Tales. We preach, we guide, we help. Love you. Have a great day. Hope this video touched your lives in a positive way. Crypto Billy out. Hey guys, Crypto Billy here with another motivational tidbit for you on your drive to work or wherever you may be. Today we're going to talk about pain and pleasure. This is only going to take 5-8 minutes at the max. Pain and pleasure. There's only two ways in the whole wide world to motivate somebody. It's either pain or pleasure. I want you to think about that. Every single technique falls under pain or pleasure. It's the only two ways to motivate anybody, including animals. Whether it's your dog, whether it's your cat, whether it's your employee, whether it's your brother, sister, mom, dad, it doesn't matter. There's only two ways, and it's pain or pleasure. So under the heading of pain, when I was a kid, that was a whipping. If I did something that I wasn't supposed to do, I got whipped. That was pain. If I said something to a teacher that I wasn't supposed to say, I was swatted. Pain. Or I was verbally humiliated, right? So they would call you out in front of everybody. It doesn't matter what kind of pain it is. It could be pain with words. They used to say sticks and stones break your bones, but words will never harm you. When I was growing up, well, we've learned that isn't true. That's another boomer conditioning item that I talked about in my other video. But people can harm you with pain, with words, right? So if your dog keeps using the bathroom in the house, you give him pain, or you try to incentivize him with pleasure with a treat. When we talk about pleasure, we talk about incentives. Hey, if you hit this sales goal, you're going to make this bonus. Pleasure. If you win the game, I'm going to take you to Dairy Queen. Pleasure. In my life, one of the greatest examples of this was my son was a cross-country runner, and he was good. He was a 3-time conference champ. He was fast. I called him Forrest when we were young because he could run like the wind. He was running a race. He was way ahead of everybody. He was smoking it. I was there, of course. It was a cross-country race, and he was probably 3rd or 4th, and he was making moves, right? I said to him as he came around the corner running, and I knew he was seeing me, and I knew he was listening to me, even though this was a long cross-country race, and as you know, they're tired. But I knew, as the dad, he could hear my voice. And I said to him, son, if you catch that guy and win this race, I will buy you that Jaguar that you've been wanting. And I want to tell you something. Something inside of him clicked. Even though he was red in the face, and I could tell he was what I would call giving it everything he had when I said that, there was something more in the gas tank. I motivated him with my words, with the incentive of pleasure. That boy kicked it in and not only caught that guy, but won the race. To find that kind of energy with less than a half a mile to go, to find that kind of energy that was in the tank, but unrealized. It was there. And it's in you too, but unrealized. Find it. Use pain and pleasure. Think about pain and pleasure. Whether you have to incentivize somebody with pleasure, which is what I prefer, we understand that no pain, no gain in the gym, right? There has to be some pain as well sometimes. We want to always choose pleasure, but sometimes pleasure doesn't work. The gym example is a great example of that. You got to push hard. I can guarantee you when my son was kicking it in and found some energy that he didn't know he had, it was painful. It was painful. I guarantee you it was painful. But I used incentive and he used pain to capture the reward. Pain and pleasure. It doesn't matter what you put it underneath. That is the heading of it all. Pain or pleasure. Use it for yourself and win. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. And remember, givers gain. I want to talk about seek to understand and then be understood. I want to talk about conflict resolution. So if you are a A-type personality, this can be very difficult. I am an A-type personality. And it's a lesson I had to learn many years ago. And to be honest, you never finish learning these lessons. At least for me, I am always sharpening the saw, trying to get better. I am not better than you. I'm just further down the path because of my age in most cases. It doesn't mean that I figured it all out. It doesn't mean I have all the answers. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just taking the tidbits that I've learned that have helped me in my life, and I'm passing them on to you. I don't want to ever be raised up and put up as all-knowing and I have all the answers, because I don't. I'm just like you. I'm human. I'm broken, and I'm always working to strengthen my mind and myself. Everyone is broken, in my opinion. We all have flaws, and that's what I call being broken. But in conflict resolution, have this passage come to your mind. Seek first to understand and then be understood. So what I mean by that is you're in an argument, or you're in a debate, or you're in a corporate meeting, and somebody proposes an idea that you feel is just going to be absolutely horrible for the company, for the employees, for the marketplace, whatever it may be. Or it could be with your sibling, and they say something that you disagree with. And what do? Your first reaction is to have a reaction and to speak up and speak your mind. And you do it with passion and vigor because you're adamantly opposed to the idea. And that is your first mistake. The first thing you should do when you hear something that you don't agree with, or you think is going to be a bad decision, The first thing you should do is ask an open-ended question. You have to first seek to understand what they're saying. You should say, why do you feel that way? What led you to this belief? Why do you think this is going to work? Teach me the components that you used as your foundational premises to build up to your conclusion that this is good. Talk to me about those factors, those premises. Don't give away the fact that you are against it. Not yet, and maybe not ever. Because when they expose that to you, that's when you're listening. You're actively listening. And when you're actively listening, you're not talking. And when you're not talking, you're absorbing, and you're listening, you're absorbing new information. And you will find that even though us A-type personalities think have a bead on everything, and that we're right more times than we're wrong, you'll come to realize that being right and wrong is not the answer. It's not. You don't have to be right. Now, if you're trading crypto or you're trading stocks, you use confluence and you're listening to the confluence. You're listening. You're actively listening with your eyeballs, because you can listen with your eyes and your ears. And you're listening to form all these premises that equal a conclusion. And when you see that, you make the trade. No different in life. Instead of looking at indicators, you're listening to the premises of your colleague or your associate or your brother or your sister. And you have an open mind instead of saying, no, we're not going to do that. No, that's stupid. That doesn't make sense. No, I don't even know how you got to that point, man. We can't do that. You have to seek to understand first before you open your mouth, because half the time you would change your mind. Half the time, if you seek collaboration instead of trying to be right and opening up your mouth all the time first, you're going to be wiser. You're going to learn, you're going to grow, and a side benefit, you're going to be a lot more likable to people. Seek to understand first, then be understood. It will help you develop your wisdom, your honor, your persona. It'll help you with relationships. You have to practice this. A-type personalities like myself have to work really, really hard on their personal development skills, because we're broken too. I love you guys. Please like and subscribe. Share this out if it has helped you today. Have a blessed day, and we'll see you next time. Hey everyone, Crypto Billy here with Billy Goat Tales, and today is another edition of Motivational Mindset. What do I do here? A 5 to 8 minute video. I try to give you a topic that you can think about maybe on your drive to work or whenever you have a pocket of time. Try to give you something to chew on and think about that will help you in your journey of life. Not just your journey of crypto, but your journey of life as well. And so today I want to talk about paying yourself first. Paying yourself first. So we're taught at a young age, we're taught this in life and through our grandfather, and grandmother, mom and dad, older brothers and sisters, and really in society, that you get your paycheck, and what do you do with it? Well, you got to pay your house payment, you got to pay your insurance, you got to pay your taxes, you got to pay your utility bills, got to pay your car payment, got to buy food, blah, blah, blah. Get all done with it. Whatever's left is your disposable income, and then you take that and you invest it. That is wrong. The first thing you have to do when the direct deposit comes in is pay yourself first. Paying yourself first will, over time, make you wealthy. You don't pay all the other bills first. You pay yourself first. Society will tell you that you have to do it exactly backwards. There's a nice deer. Society will tell you that you have to pay all those debts first. Now, I am certainly not saying take all the money and don't pay your bills. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you bring home whatever the amount, let's make it up, $2,000 every 2 weeks, $4,000 every 2 weeks, whatever the number is. The first $100, $200 needs to be for you to invest with. Then you pay your bills. What you'll find is you won't have any frittering money left, which is good. So you paid yourself first. You paid all of your expenses, and you don't have any frittering money for, guess what? That Starbucks coffee, going out and buying lunch at some fast food restaurant. You have to pack your lunch. One good thing about the 401k program that's with your employer, if you have one good thing about that is they force you to pay yourself first. Now, I'm not a big fan of the investment vehicles that they offer in most cases. However, the good side of that is you put some money in, most companies have some sort of match, which is fine. And then you're paying yourself first. So that's the good part of a 401k. A 401k, in my humble, worthless opinion, is not going to get you there, most likely. It's a good tool, but it will have to be supplemented for sure. But what I like about it, one of the features, one of the advantages and benefits of it, is that it does force you to pay yourself first. So take that premise, paying yourself first, and apply it to your own discipline. Apply that. Make that happen. Build that habit. Take that action. Be persistent with it. Pay yourself first. You're out there working every day to get ahead. You have to pay yourself first. That's your time. You're on this planet for a limited amount of time. You can't work for the man every day. The man is, oh, I got to pay for this house. I got to pay this insurance. I got to pay these taxes. You got to pay yourself first. It's very important. Now, we can go into all the financial time value of money and future value of money in doing this. This short motivational mindset video, I can't get into all that. However, I'm more than willing and capable of doing that. Even building out to show you the impact of future value of money and time value of money, that this really works. You can do it on your own, but it works. So I'd ask you to pay attention to this and change your habits and pay yourself first. We're in the crypto space, most of us, and you better believe I pay myself first. A great way to do this is dollar cost averaging. into crypto. That's what I do. Just comes right out every single week. And I buy Bitcoin, not telling you what to do, not telling you what to buy. But that's what I do. All right. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Again, like and subscribe. We appreciate the support so much. God bless. Hey everyone, welcome to Billy Goat Tales. I'm Crypto Billy, and today we're going to have another segment of motivational mindset. What I do here is just for 5 to 8 minutes, we talk about a given topic, give you something to think about and to chew on as you're driving to work, or if you're working from home, or you have a little pocket of time that you can get some encouragement and some wisdom to think about things maybe a little bit differently. So today I want to talk about expectations. So I'm sure all of us have not had our expectations met before. And if you think about it like this, if you expect this, okay, you expect this, but you get this, your expectations weren't met. And in between those two areas is frustration. Now, if you expect this and you get this, you're happy, right? But if you expect this and you even get more, you're really happy, right? So that area in between is very, very important. What you can work on if you want to, what I work on, is ensuring that I set the proper expectations. In business, it's very frustrating when another party doesn't meet your expectation. Things can go awry really, really quickly. So setting proper expectations for your clients and your customers is very, very important. Sometimes they don't know what questions to ask. You have to cleanly define what you are providing them. And you have to do it in a way where you know you're the expert and they're not the expert. And that takes time. And as we move through this digital age, it's getting more and more difficult. And I can tell you that many times here in the last, say, 5 years, I found it more and more challenging to ensure that a company in which I'm buying something from, or a service in which I'm buying something from, I am finding it that I have to really be, as the customer, the one asking the very difficult questions as the customer, because I want to make sure my expectations are set. And so I'm taking more and more time to evaluate the company or the person to ensure that all of my expectations are met. And I would challenge you to know that this digital age, this kind of reminds me of the internet boom, the dot-com boom, whereas the internet became prevalent and popular, all these companies popped up, all these websites popped up, all these dot-com companies popped up. And what it was is they had maybe a good idea, but they were trying to be in that channel that they knew was going to take over the world. They had faith that it would, and they wanted to be a part of it. Therefore, they launched something that really wasn't sustainable and wasn't well thought out. And they were taking advantage of the timing that was occurring, trying to make a buck instead of trying to take care of people. You have to have a good foundation to be able to take care of people at your business. You have to put the work in. You have to build it block by block. And a lot of people are now in crypto, and they're trying to take advantage of this channel that we're in right now. We all know that crypto's the future. And so everyone's trying to pile in to take advantage of it and carve out their own little niche. But if they do that with just money in mind and profit in mind and not the people in mind, they're not going to meet your expectations. They're not going to have the coverage, the service, the communication that you need as a customer. So flip that over and think about that on your behalf. Make sure that you're setting the proper expectations for people. Make sure you're answering the questions. Make sure that you're even talking about things that they don't even know to ask, because you are the professional and you should be doing that. Now extrapolate that into your personal life. In marriage, make sure you're setting the proper expectation. Don't take your partner for granted and think they know. You can extrapolate this in your personal life to your professional life to your crypto life. The key is set proper expectations. And the key is when you're purchasing a service or a product, ask those questions. Do an interview. Maybe do 2 or 3 of them before you purchase. Expectations can create high level of stress and frustration if they're not met. That area in between what you expect and what you get can either be positive or negative. If you exceed someone's expectation, it's very positive. If you don't meet their expectations, that area below creates frustration and stress. We don't want frustration and stress. We want happiness, love, and support, right? We want the giver's gain pathway. Hopefully, this gave you something to think about. And I appreciate if you like it, subscribe, share it out. We love you, and thanks for watching.
On the Billy Goat Tales motivational mindset series that we have on X. Not that we have on X, that we have on YouTube. So the next clip will play here shortly. Once again, this is just a marathon of all of our motivational mindset videos. We're going to stop it when our X space.
Hey everyone,
tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern.
It's Crypto Billy
feel
here.
Free to join us on
Today,
it. Billy Goat Tales.
We're going to be talking about
next time.
Thanksgiving. Another chapter in the motivational mindset series. And I think it's appropriate time to talk about Thanksgiving, since Thanksgiving is upon us. So when talking about Thanksgiving, I think the first thing we all have to do is stop, slow down, get out of the rat race. Quit checking your crypto balance. Quit going to the exchanges. Make a deposit into yourself. Enjoy your family. Do what you want to do that is not related to crypto. As they say, go out and touch grass. But what's really important is family. So this is the time where you've been racing around all year long. Been trying to get those gains. You've been trying to stay current on all the crypto news. You've been trying to position yourself for the next step, which is great work. But you're doing all of this without rewarding yourself in a non-financial way. What I mean is, all of those things can help you obtain financial wealth, but do they fill up your cup? Do they give you contentment and happiness? Connection is what is important. Connection to your family, to your kids, to your grandkids, to your mom and dad, to your brothers and sisters. If you were alone on the planet, it would be miserable, right? So if you ever watch that series Alone, you can understand that humans need other humans. Period. Humans need other humans. That's filling up your cup. So take an inventory this Thanksgiving. Take an inventory of everything that you're thankful for. Write it down. Write it down. Literally, if you have a journal or if you have a notebook or on your phone, go to notes. and just list out what you are thankful for. Please do this. It will drastically and greatly help you. It will help you stay and keep your priorities straight. It will make you understand what you're doing all this for. Just like we talk about writing down SMART goals, we also need to understand what you are grateful for. And when is the best time to do this? There is no better time than Thanksgiving Day. So write down what you're grateful for. Those go into your consciousness. They go into your brain. They go into your subconsciousness. And even when you don't know it, they will pop out and keep guiding you. There's this thing called the reticular activating system in your brain. And this is the thing that, say you go out and buy a brand new model car, a new car model. And when you buy it, you get on the road, you're driving it, you're in it now. Suddenly your brain sees that same car everywhere on the road. You didn't see any of them before. It's a new model. It's a new model, right? A new series of car. You didn't see any of them. But now your brain subconsciously picks that up, takes a snapshot, and everywhere you look, you see that snapshot. That's the reticular activating system in your brain. It's a part of the brain that we just still have not understood enough, nor have we harnessed the power or leveraged the power of the brain that allows us to utilize this and help us grow, help us achieve our goals. But we're working on this, right? There's a lot of scientists, there's a lot of doctors that are working on these things. They're very important. So this Thanksgiving, take an inventory of what you're grateful for. Write it down. Understand that exercise is doing more than just putting it on paper. That exercise is depositing that information into your brain. And even though you might forget about it, as soon as you write it down the next day, trust me, it's in your brain. Trust me, your subconscious sees that and uses that to help you make decisions behind the scenes. I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. I hope you can unplug from crypto and enjoy the day. God bless. Good morning, BGT community. I'm Crypto Billy. Today is another segment of Motivational Mindset. On your drive to work, or if you're sitting at home, working from home, whatever you're doing, hopefully this little 5-8 minute segment gets you in the right mindset, give you a little something to think about. Today we're going to be talking about pockets of time. I wrote a manuscript, a book, at least 25 years ago. I never published it. Even though I am now a published author, I just never published this. I am going to take action and get it published. And it's called Pockets of Time. And what's it about? We're all given the same amount of time, 24 hours. The key is, what are you doing to help yourself in that 24 hours? So we're all equal. We all get the same amount of time. The question is, what are you doing with your time? And the way I want you to look at this is, we all have these pockets of time that, if you're not paying attention, go idle and they're wasted. You cannot waste time. You have to use time and leverage it for yourself. If you waste time, you're not going to be able to get to where you want to go. So what am I talking about exactly? I'm driving up to Knoxville, Tennessee. It's a 4-hour drive. And what am I doing right now? I'm using this dead pocket of time to get business done. I'm using this dead pocket of time that would otherwise be viewed as wasteful to help you. Everyone has pockets of time every single day. The question is, what are you doing with that pocket of time? You're in an airport and the flight's delayed and you get frustrated. I don't. That is newfound time that I am going to utilize to leverage in my favor. They say poor people work for time and rich people have time work for them. Now think about that. Time working for you instead of you working for time. These are gifts. They're golden nuggets that have been dropped in your path, and it's all about your perception. You're in traffic, and I gotta admit, traffic irritates the living crap out of me. From just a natural, organic human experience, it absolutely grinds me. But the next thought is, oh, I have 15 extra minutes. I have 20 extra minutes. I can make this phone call. I can get this task done. I use that time. Everyone is granted these golden pockets of time, these gifts. In your day, you get these delays. You get these pockets of time. I used to tell my son in Little League back in the day, a long time ago, I used to tell him that when you come home, instead of playing games, use that pocket of time to sharpen your knife, to sharpen your saw blade. And if you want to become the best pitcher, which he was a pitcher, then you need to practice. Take that 30 minutes that you're wasting and go sharpen your saw blade. Use the pocket of time. And it stuck with him. He's 31. He speaks about that to me today. Pockets of time. It resonates with him. He's become a very successful doctor, and he had used pockets of time theory over and over again. When everyone else was out partying, he was studying. They were out getting loaded and having fun, which you have to do in college, don't get me wrong. But you can't do it all the time, right? You have to use a pocket of time to leverage for yourself. So think about this, pockets of time. Look at them as gifts. Perception is the key. Think of them as gifts, leverage them for yourselves, and be happy that you've been granted this pocket of time that you otherwise would have not had, and use it. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Please like and subscribe. Share this out if it helps you. We're all about helping you. And remember, givers gain. Hey guys, Crypto Billy here. Another segment of motivational mindset for you. What I do is record a 5 to 8 minute video, and I give you a topic to chew on, to think about and ponder. Please know that I'm not suggesting that I have all the answers and I figured it all out. I'm just like you. I just happen to have a little more age, which is comes wisdom, and I've learned things and just want to pass them on to you, and hopefully you pass them on to other people with nothing expected in return. Of course, just throwing this out. I'm driving in the Appalachian Mountains. And it's where you're going to find me the most because I live down here. So when I say that, please know that I'm in the Appalachian Mountains quite often, which is great. But this video today, I want to inspire you to check out some of the many friends that I've met in the crypto space. And when I say friends, I truly mean that. These are not people that I don't know. These are people that I've met. Sometimes, many times I've met them. Some of them I've been to their houses. Some we've hooked up at events. We talk on the phone. We DM often. They show up in my community. I show up in their community. We support and love each other. And some of these relationships I have are deeper than other relationships. But I want to encourage you, and I want to put my own mark of endorsement on some of these people because I've come to know them, and I know they're good people, and I know they have high character, and I know that our values and beliefs are aligned, and I can, with good conscience, recommend them to you so that you can learn from them as well. And as time goes on, you will see that I am not going to be quick to endorse people. So the people in my circle, I can tell you that you should follow them. You should learn from them. They're good people. And right at the start of the line was where I began my crypto journey, which is with Frankie Candles in the trading group. And I can tell you, Frankie is a great person. He's a great man. He's honorable. He has integrity. He's authentic. He cares. He's loving. And these are attributes that I put a lot of value on. And if you notice, I didn't mention money or wealth because I don't put a lot of stock in money and wealth. I put a stock in character and heart and love and authenticity, the things that really matter. And you will come to learn in Billy Goat Tales, if you want true wealth, wealth is of the heart, not the purse. It just so happens when you're on this journey that you become wealthy because you learn these principles. So Frankie is right up there at the top along with Crypto Lifer. Crypto Lifer has become somewhat of a nephew to me. He is someone that I admire and love. He is just like you and me. He started a crypto journey. He had a dream. He worked hard. He believed. He had faith. He was persistent. He built good habits. He has honor and integrity. He uses his rarity, which is his ability to motivate people and teach people, and his remarkable ability to do impressions and do humor and comedy. And he finally has a forum that he can display these gifts and teach these gifts to other people. He's a good man, and he's a good person and a good father, and I respect him. So go follow Crypto Lifer if you want to learn about trading and just life in general. He teaches great life principles on his live stream. Another one that I can tell you is just authentic and real is Miss Teen Crypto, Randy, and her father, Randy, R-A-N-D-Y, and her sister, Emma. You want to talk about a family that is steeped in love and respect and balance and crypto and understanding. It's Miss Teen Crypto and her family. And I love her. And she's like a daughter to me or a niece to me. If she called me up and asked me for anything, I would do it without expecting anything in return. Because if I can contribute and participate in helping her reach her goals and dreams, I'm going to use my life and my time and my resources to do that because I believe in her and I believe in her family and I believe in what she's doing. And the next one I would talk to you about is Army Piper and Alex O Crypto. both of those guys. Alex is like a son to me. I was there when he started his journey, and I would do anything for Alex. He is the salt of the earth, and I love his passion. And he had a dream. He had a dream, and he's he just took action. And he was uncertain about his future and his path forward, but he had this passion and dream, and he stayed persistent. He worked on sharpening his saw and building good habits. And I could tell that this guy was the real deal, that he's not a fake, that he's authentic, that he has the same character as myself, and whatever I could do to help him without needing anything or wanting anything in return whatsoever, I was going to do. I was going to use my life to help his life if I could. And the same with Army Piper. We met at a conference, and immediately we had the vibrations that were coming through from me to him and him to me. We synced, and I felt the kindred spirit. And I knew that this was a guy that I was going to get to know. And through that, we've had so many private conversations, and I could tell that he's the real deal. And he's in my circle, and he's somebody that I will endorse and help. Even when, some of these guys don't need my help, just to be clear. Some of these guys don't need Crypto Billy. They can do it on their own now. But that's the gift, see? That's the gift. To me, it's whatever I can do to help, whether they need the help or not. I am going to help them and not expect anything in return. I'm going to endorse them. I am going to give them my mark of saying, these are givers gain people. These are people you can trust. These are people that I love. These are people in the crypto space that share the same types of crypto beliefs that you believe in. They can help you. They can guide you. They are technical guys. And a lot of those guys, with the exception of Miss Team Crypto, are trading, because I am a heavy finance trading guy. But I can tell you that they have never disappointed me. I can tell you that unlike others in the space, if they believe that their net worth is more than you, then they have nothing to do with you. What do they need you for? Isn't that interesting? That angle, something that I certainly don't believe in, because I believe that you can help people even if your bank account isn't as deep as mine. And I believe that you can help me even though your bank account isn't as deep as mine. So I want to say this. I believe that it's going to be very important as time goes on and years click by, that the givers gain circle and the people that are in the circle and the Crypto Billy and the Billy Goat Tales endorsements of high character people doing the right things that you can trust is going to become more and more important as time goes on, because we're going to be a community that you can trust. We're going to be a community that isn't all about riches and wealth. Look at me, and I got all this stuff. No, it's about you. It's about character. It's about your principles. It's about you wanting to get to the next level, and you need a mentor. You need someone in your life that's going to help you do that. That not some guy you watch on YouTube, that you can actually get to know, and we will meet in real life, and we will shake hands. And that's what I believe that Billy Goat Tales is all about. So I wanted to do a shout out to those folks, and I'm going to ask you to follow them if you're not already. Much love. Thanks for watching. And remember, givers gain. Good morning, BGT community. I am Crypto Billy. This is your motivational mindset on your drive to work or wherever you may be. I want to give you some motivation and some coaching to help you get to the next level. It's only going to be 5 to 8 minutes, and I hope it helps you. Today, we're going to be talking about character. Character is very important. However, we diminish it here in this great country, the United States of America, which I love deeply, and I served for 10 years, proving my service. I love our country, and I love America. But we are a capitalistic country, which is great. But what does that really mean? It means that we follow the money. That means all the advertising you see is about purchasing. It's about purchasing. So we've been conditioned to follow the money. That is why instinctively what we do is we listen to billionaires. We're interested in billionaires with 1 million subscribers, and we're interested. And we're really interested in them because, hey, they've made $1 billion. They must know what they're talking about. But does it mean they're good people? Does it mean that they have high character? I always find that very fascinating because I personally have learned that I would rather follow someone with 10 followers and high character and high morals and highly regarded values that align with mine than their bank account. I don't care about their bank account. I don't care if you're a billionaire. If you do not have high character, if you do not conduct yourself in a manner that proves to me that you are a good person, then I am not going to follow you. But we are conditioned in this country to follow those people. I share some of my successes. I've posted that I've owned multiple franchises. I've built multiple commercial buildings. I share stuff like that from a standpoint of trying to show you that if you visualize it, you can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I share stuff like that, but I certainly don't share that I just bought 100 Bitcoin. I certainly don't share big, large sums of money that I may or may not have. I do try to motivate people with certain things, but like, for instance, when I sold my Hellcat, it wasn't about me owning a Hellcat. It was me about having faith in Bitcoin, and that in November of 22, that I felt we were close to the bottom, and I felt it so passionately. The thing that I love the most, I love muscle cars. My dad was a muscle car guy. I'm a muscle car guy. I share that, but I sold what I enjoyed, this asset, to buy 2 Bitcoin at 16.5 and 19.5. Yes, sharing those little tidbits, but I certainly don't try to suggest with every single post and every single piece of my fiber that I am somehow, I know more than you, and I have more money than you, and I'm wealthier than you, because I believe the most wealth comes from the heart. Wealth of the heart is way more important to me than wealth of the purse. And so it doesn't matter to me how much money you have or how much success you've had. What matters to me is your character. And you don't have to go back too far in people's lives to get an understanding of someone's character. What I can tell you point blank is I would love a forensic investigation of my character, who I am as a father, who I am as a husband, who I am as a friend, who I've been in business, the decisions I've made in business, the failures I've had in business. I talk about my failures in business all the time. There's no skeletons in my closet. I can speak openly about that. And everyone knows that I've been with my bride. We are high school sweethearts. And marriage is very difficult to navigate. You have to do it with concessions. You have to do it with listening, with love. But to be married and to be together for over 40 years is very difficult to do. And it's one of my greatest successes. So what I say to you is, please take a look at the character behind the PFP. Be careful of who you follow. Do your own research, DYOR, because subscribers and money do not define the person. Character defines the person. Think about that, chew on that, and I hope you have a great day. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Hey everyone, Crypto Billy here with Billy Goat Tales, and today is another edition of Motivational Mindset. What do I do here? A 5 to 8 minute video. I try to give you a topic that you can think about, maybe on your drive to work, or whenever you have a pocket of time. Try to give you something to chew on and think about that will help you in your journey of life. Not just your journey of crypto, but your journey of life as well. So today I want to talk about real moments. Now, when I say that, it might not mean that much to you, but I'm going to try to illustrate some examples where I show you the impact of understanding what a real moment is and understanding how important it is to our lives. A real moment is different than a normal moment from the standpoint of all of your senses have to be engaged to create a real moment. What that means is whatever's in your head that you're thinking about, maybe you have to go to an appointment, maybe you're running late, maybe you're hurried and rushed, and somebody wants to have a deep philosophical conversation with you. It's hard to engage and be in the moment fully with all of your senses when your headspace is not in the moment. To engage a real moment, you have to actively listen carefully. You have to, in your mind, suck in the universe. You have to bring it into you. You have to pay attention to whatever the moment is. You could be at a baseball game, a football game. You could be at a rock concert. You could be with your loved one. You could be in a single conversation with another person. But our lives are made up of snapshots. And what you want to do is fill your bag with these good snapshots, these positive snapshots, these positive real moments. And to create those real moments, you have to fully be engaged in the moment. All of your senses have to be alive. You have to actively think about, I want to shut my brain off and be here and absorb it. Take it in. Let your skin take in the moment. If you're at a baseball game with your son or your daughter and you're trying to enjoy the game, somebody spills their Coca-Cola. What you have to say to yourself is, that doesn't matter. What I am enjoying is this time. A real moment is connected to time. We only have so much time on the planet. When you're young, you don't think about that because you think you got all kinds of time. There's nothing left but time. I'm 21 years old. I got all the time in the world. You don't. You have to collect real moments. And the only way to collect real moments is to ensure that all of your senses are engaged. Touch, smell, feel, see, hear. Open up your senses, and you have to say that to yourself and take it in and enjoy it. It takes practice to do this. I have ADHD. If you have ADHD, you're going to really struggle with this. It took me years, and I don't want to even call myself a master of this yet. I want to call myself someone that's down the path with it, and I can trigger it a lot more easily than I used to. A real moment is something that you don't forget. In your mind, you will be able to recall real moments a lot quicker than any other moment of your life. It'll be 10 years later, and you can recall a real moment. You know why? Because you were in the moment. You weren't thinking about what you wanted to say. You weren't thinking about anything else. You were in the moment. Your goal is to collect real moments, to make your life fulfilling, to make your life count, to make your life matter to somebody else. And to do that, what do you got to do? Give. Give your senses. Give your time. Lend a listening ear to someone. Real moments are powerful. They're not taught anywhere. They're part of the secret keys to life. You really need to focus on collecting real moments that matter to you. And to collect more and more and more of them, you have to engage your senses. You have to be present. You have to clear your mind. You have to take it in. And when you do that, and a few years later, you try to think about it, your mind will recall that moment just like you perfectly filed it away in a filing cabinet that's correctly labeled. Your mind will go to it and retrieve it so perfectly because it's a real moment, not just a moment. We all have moments. This is a moment right now. Okay? What you want is real moments that allow you to retrieve them and that are connected to things that you value most. Lots of good books on this. Go check them out. I don't want to shill any particular author here. Thank you. Like and subscribe and share this with your friends. We would appreciate it here at Billy Goat Tales. We love you. Hey everyone, Crypto Billy here with Billy Goat Tales, and today is another edition of Motivational Mindset. What do I do here? A 5 to 8 minute video. I try to give you a topic that you can think about maybe on your drive to work or whenever you have a pocket of time. Try to give you something to chew on and think about that will help you in your journey of life. Not just your journey of crypto, but your journey of life as well. Today, we're going to be talking about we are the 1%. So for those of you in our community that are not crypto based, most of you are, but there are people coming in that are more about personal development and they might not be exposed to crypto. This particular video, I am going to be talking about we are the 1%, which really we can get there and be the 1%. In the crypto space. The crypto space, Bitcoin in particular, is the last bastion, the last hope for your generation, a generation X, Y, and Z and Alpha to become the 1%. It's really one of the simplest and easiest ways to become the 1%. As we all know, Bitcoin was pennies in 2009. and today it's pushing $100,000 a coin. That's not a lot of years, 15 years. Okay, you could have been a billionaire. I have a buddy, pretty wealthy guy. In 2022, he could have invested. He had the disposable income to invest $50 million. He could have put it all in Bitcoin in 2022. And if he would have, today it would be worth $250 million. That's 2 years later, 24 months later. So just downsize that. You put $1,000 in. The percentage is the same. We are the 1%, but to be the 1%, the future 1%, you have to invest in the crypto space. It's going to be one of the only ways that you can do it. I am not telling you what to invest in. I am not giving you specific investment advice. I'm telling you the crypto industry is an industry in which you can become the 1%. I'm telling you it's going to be very difficult to try to time the market in any other thing. For instance, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, puts, calls, warrants, options. So of all the financial products that are out there, the crypto space, especially using dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin, is one of the most safest and bountiful avenues that you can take. So if you want to become the 1%, the next group of 1%ers, then you need to at least look at and do your own research and investigate Bitcoin. Now, for those of us that are in the crypto space, those of us that are already in Bitcoin, we are the future leaders in this space. We are the future responsible leaders in this space. What do I mean by that? Well, guys, we have to make sure that we sweep out our corners. We have to make sure that we do the right thing. We have to make sure that we're very careful and considerate, and we have to lead by example that Bitcoin is the future. We have to do that very responsibly, however. We never want to give financial advice, of course. This space is going to be getting cleaned up by the SEC and the United States government over the last several years. It already has been. And so we want to make sure that we are providing great feedback, great real world, live, truthful examples of what could be. And we want to help each other. We want to help each other get there. And how do we help each other get there? Number one, we have to be honest. So for example, in my illustration of my buddy, he had 50 million disposable income. Go back and look at the charts. In November of 22, Bitcoin was $20,000. Bitcoin was $20,000. Okay, so extrapolate that forward. If you would have put 50 million in, and it's $100,000, it's 2,500 Bitcoin. 2,500 Bitcoin at $100,000 each is your $250 million. Okay, so it's real. It's not some example that isn't real. So when we provide this kind of stuff to our community members and each other, let's just make sure that we are doing a very good job of passing on real data that can impact people's lives in a positive way. You are the 1%. How do you get there? You have to believe it. You have to manifest it. You have to see it. You have to take action. You have to be disciplined, but you can get there, guys. You can get there. You can be the 1%. I know you can. We are all in the process of doing it, right? So be disciplined. Look at Bitcoin. Share the message, and I'll see you next time. And remember, you are the future 1%.
Morning, everyone. Crypto Billy here. It's 6 a.m. my time. I'm out here in San Francisco. It's still dark. Had to come down and get my morning coffee, go on my morning walk by the bay here. Wanted to take a minute and give you a little motivational mindset as I'm walking here. You know, what's important, what a lot of people don't think about, probably until they get older. I don't think I thought about this as a young man. That's why it's so important to me to get these messages out to you. Hopefully you're in your 20s or 30s, even 40s, and you can take this and start applying it much earlier than I did and help yourself out. So we're all in crypto for money. We all came in for profit. We need to stay here for profit. Don't get me wrong. We're in crypto to make money. There's other reasons we're in crypto, though. We're in crypto for the ethos. We believe in decentralization. We believe that the fiat system is broken, that the Fed is fake, just a lot of rich people running our country behind the scenes. We believe in peer-to-peer transactions. We believe in everything that crypto stands for, but we're also here to make money. And all I would say to you about that is don't put money as the goal. We're going to make money. You're going to make money. When you're 60, 70, 80 years old, and it's hard to care about that right now. I get it. I understand. But try to think about how you're going to feel when you're 70 years old. You got $50 million in the bank, and you're going to look back at your life and you're going to say, did it impact enough people? Did I make a difference? Did my life count for something other than my own bank account? The impact that you have on other people's lives is truly why we're here. You're here to improve your life, of course, and your family's life, of course, but you're also here to help other people improve their life. Again, I go back to say, if you were alone on this planet, you had all the riches in the world, you would not be happy. You've heard multimillionaires and billionaires tell you over and over again, money doesn't solve happiness. We hear that, but nobody seems to believe it. Then when you get your millions, you'll start listening. And so the goal is to try to get you to listen before you get there, so you can start thinking about, why are you here? What is your purpose? Your purpose just isn't to make money. You're going to see that you get a lot more happiness and contentment when you help others along the way. That's what life is all about. When you have other people tell you how important your life is to them, how much that you help them, you'll see how important it really is. When I was a little league coach for my son's team, there was a kid on there, not going to say his name, but I could tell you this, he moved me. I knew he came from a broken family, and I knew he needed love. And I worked with that boy, and I worked with him. And even though his behavior was bad sometimes, but I responded in love and not in anger. I coached him. I loved him. I helped him. And then one day, a couple years later, my son brings home the paper that this boy had written to his teacher. The topic was, who is your hero? And this boy wrote a paper about me saying that I was his hero. And it was beautiful. I still have it. The love that poured through my body when I read that, how much I meant to him, how much I changed his life. That is what life is about. All these little things collectively make you who you are. So let's get the gains. Let's follow all these great creators that help us get gains. Let's have fun, but let's remember that we're here for each other. We got to do the right thing when nobody's looking. It's a motivational mindset today. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey everyone, Crypto Billy here. We are going to do another segment on motivational mindset. Today we're going to be talking about money. So when we talk about money, lots of things come to mind, correct? We are in the crypto space, every single one of us, because we want to make money. We wouldn't be here if we didn't think there was some financial gain. At least we didn't come into this space unless we believed there was financial gain. I can tell you that's why I came in this space. I can tell you that in 2017, my son was on me so much about buying this crypto stuff. I had to just do it just to kind of get him off my back. And it was such a good thing that I did that. But in 2019, I came back to my Coinbase wallet that I had forgotten about. I was pretty impressed with what I was looking at. That piqued my interest, and that made me say, I got to pay attention to this crypto thing, this Bitcoin thing. There's some money to be made here. So I think most of us, I would say probably all of us, came into crypto because of a financial opportunity. And then we fell in love with the ethos. And from there, we all scattered and went on our merry way to the different projects and coins that we felt were going to do us the best and most financial gain. And I think that's pretty much everyone's story for crypto. I could be wrong. I'm sure in the early days, there was developers that were just in love with the tech, and they believed in the ethos of the tech, and of course invested early and became Bitcoin billionaires because of that. So it's probably not everyone, but most of us, right? So with that said, let's talk about money. When you were little, if you ever worked on like being a guy, I always had models, right? I'd go to the Western Auto and mom would get me a box, a model, right? Like a car, plastic model car kit. And it'd be like a 57 Chevy or something cool, a GTO, and I would put it together. And as I kept building these models, there was things that I learned relative to what should go on first and what should go on second. And every time I built one, I got better and better. I got stronger and stronger, right? I became more efficient with it because of experience, right? Think about anything else in life where you came into it for one reason, you kept with it, you stayed persistent, you took action, and you got better and better at it. Think non-financial things, like my example of building a model. It's important because your own efforts added to your wisdom and your experience. So like in my case, building that model, I became better and better and more efficient. Even though there was directions there that said, do this, this, and this, I come to find out that there was a better way than what the directions said. I come to find out that this little motor piece is better to go in at this point in time than when the directions say. So like in school, when it comes to finances, they don't give you a lot of directions in high school. However, even some of the directions they give are based on the system, based on you being rank and file and not based on you being rare. And you are rare because you are a one-on-one and there's nobody on the planet like you. So what am I saying? I am saying that even with directions and even with societal conditioning, even with learning things in school about the system, about investing, a lot of it is no longer correct. So when we talk about money, it's the same. And here's the mega point for today's topic. You learned one thing one way about money, and the truth of the matter is it's totally the opposite way. You have to change your conditioning. We are taught to seek out money. That's what we are taught. We are taught to seek out money. Find a profitable opportunity and take it. Take action. Build your wealth. That's what we're taught. And the truth of the matter is, if you want to seek out and have money, you have to find your calling. You have to find your passion. You have to find what moves you. And when you do that, when you make a deposit into yourself and figure out your values and your beliefs and what moves you, what your passion is, the money always follows. The money always follows. Sure, there's people that have taken this advice and it's taken them 5 years, but the money followed. They didn't like waiting 5 years, but the money followed. And there's other people that find their voice, that find their calling, that find their passion, and they make money immediately. They find that money immediately. They find that wealth immediately. The trick and the secret is don't chase the money. Chase your passion. The money will come. You have to have faith. And faith is the substance of that hoped for, the evidence of that not found. You have to have faith. So, tidbit today, quit chasing money and chase your passion. When you chase your passion, the money will come. Hope this helps you. Think about it. Drop some comments. Tell me if you disagree. Tell me if you agree. It's great. We love you. Like, subscribe. I appreciate you listening. Have a great day. Hey everyone, Crypto Billy here with Billy Goat Tales, and today is another edition of Motivational Mindset. What do I do here? A 5 to 8 minute video. I try to give you a topic that you can think about maybe on your drive to work or whenever you have a pocket of time. Try to give you something to chew on and think about that will help you in your journey of life. Not just your journey of crypto, but your journey of life as well. And so today I wanted to talk about trauma. Okay, Billy, we're talking about trauma. How is that going to help me get prepared for my day? How is that going to help me get in the right mindset for today as I drive to work? Everything happens for a reason. When you can believe that, even though it's written in the sacred ancient text. For instance, it says, faith is the substance of that hoped for and the evidence of that not found. Think about that. There's no evidence, but you got to have faith. Everything happens for a reason. You got to have faith. Even the bad stuff happens for a reason. You don't understand it in the moment. It's too powerful. It's too emotional. It's too impactful for you to even comprehend. How could this happen to me? We just had the hurricanes. Helena, and I witnessed great destruction. I witnessed people's houses totally gone. I had friends that witnessed dead bodies hanging in trees, cars filled with mud with bodies in them still. So you say, if that isn't trauma, I don't know what is. Total destruction. In my life, my nephew died at 19, coming back from church at night, ran into a semi, killed him. My other nephew was with him, his brother. He was only 19. Trauma. How do you stay positive? How do you move forward? How do you get over that? How do you get your mind reset so that you can deal with life? The answer is faith. The answer is truly knowing that everything happens for a reason. What do I mean by that? Loss is great. The great ancient texts say, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning. Think about that for a second. Why is something that ends better than something that begins? We view things just the opposite. Preparing to go to, say, a New Year's Eve party, that prep work, and then arriving and meeting your friends or family, it seems like you're happy. But at the end of it, at the end of the event, are you still happy? Because it ended. Yet, better is the end of the thing than the beginning thereof. So how could that be? Because we look at things upside down. We need to flip almost everything 180 degrees to understand it and get to the next level. We are being conditioned to think about it a certain way because we are the herd. We need to flip it over to get to the next level, to grow and get beyond where we are today. Trauma, going through a bad time, is where you grow the most. It is an opportunity for you to get to the next level, to stretch beyond what you think is possible and get to the next level. 2008 was traumatic for me. It was traumatic in lots of ways, but mostly financial. Being in the home building business, as we all know, it was a housing collapse. It greatly impacted me financially. It totally almost took away all of my wealth that I built, leading the curve way ahead of the people around me financially. But it was all taken away. Traumatic. It was traumatic. It was trauma. But I had faith. I knew deep in my soul, I knew in my head and in my heart that I was there for a reason to learn. It wasn't happening to me. It was happening for me. And I knew that. It wasn't fake. Like the depths of my soul, I knew that I was going to be okay. And this was going to help me grow and stretch me to the next level. But most people can't get there because it's so traumatic. Loss is traumatic. A fire. If you have ever had your house burned down, it's like a loss. It's like a human loss. If you ever had your dog die that's been with you for 15 years, it's sad. It's traumatic. How do you get over it? You have to understand that there's something great coming around the corner, and you have to believe that. You have to believe it. You have to know that better is the end of the thing than the beginning thereof. And when you can get there, truly get there, the world will open up to you in profound ways. I hope this has helped you. Yes, trauma is motivational because you can grow and stretch from it. you can become a better version of yourself. And that's what we're all about here at Billy Goat Tales, is helping you reach your goals. So please like and subscribe. Come back. We try to drop these every single morning. Give you a little something to think about on your trip into work, you're driving to work, or if you're sitting around the house and you need something to pick you up. Tune in to us and we'll try to do our job and help you grow and stretch and become the best version of yourself. God bless. Hey everyone, Crypto Billy here. Today's motivational mindset segment is going to be on the fact that we are all broken. We are all broken and too afraid to admit that. So what do I mean by that? Well, fear is a great motivator. And you've heard me say there's only two ways to motivate people. That is pain and pleasure. Fear falls underneath pain. It's a great motivator. We're too fearful to admit that we're all broken in some way. We put on our armor, and we get on Spaces, we get on YouTube, or we go to a company meeting, or we're in a role in which we have to be the leader, and we put on our armor and we suggest that things don't bother us or don't annoy us, or we suggest that we're just too strong to have anything impact us. But the truth of the matter is that's all BS. We are all broken in some way. So for me, you have to admit that you're just like everybody else, that we're all human beings. We all have hearts, we all have brains, we all have emotions, we all have baggage. But what's interesting is the drive that even though you might not be in the best mood or emotional state, that you can drive forward. And that's where these sayings come in. It's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get up. So that goes into persistence and drive and dedication and a belief that you can overcome any obstacle. And that's all true. But when you get up in the morning and you just don't feel it, and you need something, people go to coffee, triple shots, right? For energy. But energy is one thing, emotional intelligence is another. Understanding that everybody, no matter how successful they look, no matter how much money they have, everybody is just like you. They have good days and they have bad days. They're dealing with personal issues, struggles, relationship issues. If they're a billionaire, they might not be dealing with money issues, but they deal with all the other issues that we all have. They're broken in some way too. They're just too afraid to admit it because they got to be the big billionaire. They got to be the big CEO. They got to be the guy that seems like they have their stuff together all the time. I'm telling you, nobody has their stuff together all the time. That's why you see very successful people that fail and fall a million miles down because they were barely holding it together. Even though to the world on TV, they seemed professional, seemed happy, seemed content, seemed like they were well organized and had their stuff together. No, it's all fake news. We are all broken. So what we have to do is we have to first admit that, right? Understanding the first step to solving a problem is understanding the problem, admitting the problem. And then we have to build systems and techniques to overcome that. When I talk to my millionaire and billionaire friends, they struggle with this one because they are so used to being the guy that solves all the problems and has all the answers, and they always have their armor up because that's their persona. They want to project to the world that they have figured everything out, and you need to follow them because they've figured it all out. Well, I'm going to tell you I have not figured it all out, and I am going to tell you I am broken too. I am not different, and I am seeking. I am on a quest and have been for almost 40 years to get the answers to these big problems. Why are we here? Where did we come from? How do we find contentment? How do we find happiness? What do we have to do to make our lives better? What do we have to do to be worth something more than our bank account? And the answer that I have found rests in people, helping others that are working hard to help themselves. But even though I do that every day, even though I seek to help people, even though I like to reward people in different ways for their contribution to society and to crypto space, even though I'm doing that, I am broken too. I am still on a quest. The rest of my life, I will be on this quest to figure out all of these answers. And as I come across what I believe and have back tested to be real solutions that have really worked for me, then I pass those on. But all of my millionaire and billionaire friends, they have a hard time admitting this. They have a hard time saying that this is a truth. And that's okay. Nobody has to agree in unison 100% of the time, right? We understand we're all different. We all think differently, and that's great. That's a beautiful thing, actually. So I would say to you, know that you're broken, and know that we're all broken, and know that we're all the same. And be very careful of the person that puts on the persona that appears that he's not or she's not, because that's fake. Think about that, digest it, apply it to your life. We did a Be Vulnerable series, a motivational mindset series. We did one. Just go back and look at it. It's on the channel. And it kind of falls right within that too, right? Be vulnerable, because when you can admit that you're broken, you're being vulnerable. You have to admit that. So we talk about being vulnerable in another segment, and I encourage you to go check it out. With that, I want to say, please like and subscribe, and I appreciate your time. Have a great day. Hopefully I gave you a little something to think about. Hey, crypto fam, Billy Goat Tales community. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Today is another motivational mindset segment. And today we are going to be talking about foul language. You know, with Billy Goat Tales on our X space, we work really hard to present a professional space, because in the end, we want to be syndicated. We want to operate with honor and integrity and dignity. And as we say on the X space, you can go to any X space and you can hear the F-bombs being dropped right and left pretty much all the time. So I get the question, well, Billy, do you get offended when you hear foul language? No, I don't. I don't get offended when I hear foul language. In fact, I use foul language. I use foul language all the time. You got to remember, grew up on a dairy farm. I grew up basically blue collar, and I went into the United States Army for 10 years. Trust me, I used to come home from a long field exercise and being out there for 30 days, bivouac basically. And my wife would say, goodness gracious, you got a potty mouth. It takes months for it to go away because the dialect just comes to you and you just naturally start using it when you're around people that use it all the time. But think about the F-bomb. No, they don't drop the F-bomb. Now, do you think for a minute that behind the scenes in their house with their friends, they're not dropping the F-bomb? Of course they are. Of course they are. Does that make them less than authentic? No. They are playing a role on TV to deliver with honor and integrity and professionalism a news segment. That's what we're doing. We are always authentic, but we also want to be kind and professional. We also want to make sure that we don't offend anyone. We're cognizant of that. We're aware of that. But of course, I cuss. Of course, I'm just like you. Of course, foul language does not negatively impact me. I don't look at you differently if you use foul language. But when you look at great communities like Army Pipers, do you hear him on there dropping the F-bomb? No. Do you hear Crypto Lifer dropping the F-bomb? No. Do you hear Frankie Candles dropping the F-bomb? No. Okay, that's integrity. That's professionalism. That is character. And so I just wanted to say, please don't think you offend us. If that's who you are and that's the way you want to be, I don't judge you for that. I respect it. You are who you are, and you're operating with your own authenticity, and that's fine with me. And I would ask likewise that you don't judge us for what we're doing here, because we want to be just like you, totally authentic and transparent. But I do get a lot of people that ask me, look, I've never heard you drop the F-bomb. Well, if we're in a private conversation, you will hear me drop the F-bomb all the time. It's not a problem, you know. So think about that and think about yourself. If you want to be viewed as a professional in the space, my recommendation to you is that you clean up your act, because people can't help to judge you. They can't help to feel a certain way about you based on how you dress, how you talk, how you conduct yourself, your body language. And is that right or wrong? I don't know. I'm at a point in my life where a lot of that I don't care about. For instance, I used to dress for success, but now I wear what makes me comfortable. And now if I'm going to a black tie event, of course, I'm wearing my tuxedo. Of course. If I'm going to a ball or a gala, of course, I'm dressing for that. But if I'm just going to a conference or if I'm just going out to dinner, I wear what I'm comfortable in wearing. However, on Billy Goat Tales, we are producing a professional space, and I would hope and I would ask that you respect that space and curtail your cussing for us. And as you know, I'm curtailing my own. I wanted you to know a little bit more on who I am, and also the fact that I'm human. I'm just like you, and of course I cuss and I use foul language. I try not to use the Lord's name in vain. However, I am absolutely guilty of doing that from time to time, but I work really hard on trying not to. Something to think about. God bless. Please like and subscribe, and we love you. Hey guys, Crypto Billy here. It's rainy where I'm at, but hopefully it's not rainy where you're at, and it's a nice sunshiny day. I wanted to do another segment of our motivational mindset series. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the investment in yourself. If you want to make a lot of money, you're here to make money. Like everybody says, let's make millions together. Let's come into crypto and make millions. I'm going to tell you the fastest and the most surest, safest way to make money is invest in yourself. Invest in yourself first and watch your profits grow. When you deposit coin into yourself, your investment will surely grow way more than any meme coin. I would never recommend that you try to put $100 in a meme coin, try to get 1,000x, and that's all fun. That's gambling, guys. That's gambling. Can it happen? Sure, it can happen. The probability curve of that happening is very, very low. Trying to time all that. The probability curve investing in yourself and getting better and better every day is certainly a better probability that the outcome is going to be favorable to you. So what do I mean by investing in yourself? How do I do it? What do I got to do, Billy? What do I got to do? Well, first and foremost, you should read at least 10 minutes every day. If you read 10 minutes every day of self-help, you will be sharpening your saw. You will be improving your probability and your chances for growth. What kind of books do I read, Billy? Good to Great is a great business book. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Who Moved My Cheese? It's a great book about setting expectations and change. How to deal with change occurring in your life. There's a ton of them. So read 10 minutes every day. Read 10 minutes for you. In other words, don't read about the crypto market update. Sure, you can do that, but to help yourself understand things like setting habits and persistence and honor and dignity and working through and leveraging the assets and the rarity that you have as yourself, as your own person, understanding that you are the most rarest thing on earth. There's nobody more rare than you, right? You are a one-on-one. You are a one-on-one copy. So what gifts do you have that others may not have, and leveraging them so you can be the best version of yourself? Understanding what happiness is really about. You know, all these millionaires and billionaires that are out there, they'll tell you. I've heard them all say it. Yeah, I've got $1 billion, but money doesn't make you happy. Now you think to yourself, yeah, it's easy for them to say they got $1 million or $1 billion. But I'm telling you, it's the truth. Money does not make you happy. It makes life a little easier. You can not stand in a line at the airport, and get your private jet and go. Sure, there's some comforts that come with having a lot of money, but it doesn't give you contentment. It doesn't give you happiness. Trust me, it doesn't. You have to dig deep. You have to learn about yourself. You have to know what makes yourself tick to make others tick. You have to leverage your skill sets, your traits, your inherent abilities. You have to find your purpose. And that only comes from working on yourself. So today I would encourage you to do things like read self-help books, read personal development books. Don't look at it as somebody preaching at you. Listen to the words that they say or the words on the pages, and then go take action on those words. You have to take action on those words. the lessons that one life can teach another life is invaluable. Some people, I remember when I was little, my grandpa would like give me these tidbits, and they were always interesting to me because I knew that there was something he was trying to teach me, or there was some wisdom, but it was so inconvenient at the time. It's like I had other plans. I was on another mission. I had another interest. I had something I had to get to first. I had an agenda, right? Like, hey, like, Gramps, today's not the day I need to hear this, right? Maybe another time. Wow. How foolish was I? So foolish. Because people are put in your life for a reason. You might not see it at that time, but you see it later. And sometimes later can be too late. People are put in your lives for a reason. Good people and bad people are put in your lives for a reason. Try to pick up as much wisdom as you possibly can. It's going to be very important as you sharpen your own saw. So, one technique, read. Another technique, give yourself 10 minutes in the morning to self-reflect. 10 minutes to think about who you are, where you want to go, what do you want to do with your next 1 year, 3 years, 5 years? What are your goals? What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? You've heard of a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. They do it on businesses all the time. I've done 15, 20 SWOT analysis on businesses. Do it on yourself. Do it on yourself. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Do it on yourself. You'll really get to know who you are. So today, hopefully I made you think about something here, something you'd otherwise not think about. Hope you have a blessed day. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time on Motivational Mindset. Crypto Billy out.
All right, fam. So if you are seeing me here now, you're at the end of the Motivational Mindset Marathon. We appreciate you tuning in whenever you tuned in. If you watch this later, we appreciate you coming here. So Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern, we usually launch one of these Motivational Mindset videos. They're about 5 to 8 minutes long. And so we just did a little bit of a marathon. We were testing some equipment, testing some of our capabilities to see if we could do more of a live stream of some of our content, whether it's this, whether it's trading, whether it's some charts. We just wanted to test some of that. However, we also wanted to bring the motivational mindset, the positivity, that ability for you to have something to help you with your mental strength and readiness and mental growth, personal growth. So that was most of the content you heard was from Crypto Billy. He provides the content for the motivational mindset. I sometimes help with the production side of it, but all of us at Billy Goat Tales appreciate you. We hope to see you tonight on X. If you're watching this today, today is March 18th, 2025 at 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be talking about the integrity of honor, or integrity and honor, on our Billy Goat Tales X space. You can find us on X at Billy Goat Tales, TALES. And yeah, we'll meet there for about 2 hours and go through. This is a reboot of our